He gets doubled. Shaq all over him. He gets away, a fadeaway. He makes it with 4/10 left.
Hey guys, this is Dominique Wilkins.
Hey, this is Sean Kemp.
This is Gary Payton.
Hey, this is Pau Gasol.
NBA fans, what's up? This is Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt Barnes. If you're an old school NBA fan like I am, make sure you check out the Basketball Time Machine with my man Sean David.
Hello and good day everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the Basketball Time Machine. My name is Sean David. Let's talk some old school NBA basketball. In today's episode, I want to take a look at NBA legends talking about a player who I unfortunately didn't feature that often. I think I only have like 3 videos on the big fundamental, Tim Duncan. And yeah, I think I gotta change that. Anyway, but before we start with today's episode, I want to ask you guys for a small favor. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video if you enjoy the content. All right, you guys, let's do it. Now, the first player's opinion that I want to take a look at is from Kenyan Martin, who I would say had his prime while he was playing for the New Jersey Nets. And he had countless battles with the big fundamental. And in this clip, he's comparing Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan. Let's take a look.
Most guys, I could speed up and make you play at my pace. I could frustrate you. I can do this and I can do that. But with him, it didn't matter. Because he was going to play at his own pace. He was going to get to his spots. He was going to shoot the shot he wanted to shoot. And I just had to make that shot as tough as possible. You know what I'm saying? With a guy like KG, like I know what he's finna do, so I can make him do something different. Well, like he might make a tough shot, but I can manipulate the way he took shots, things like that. Because KG dominant right shoulder guy. I know this. When playing me, you can't go right shoulder. I'm sitting on it. You might go every now and again, but you know that I know this is the way you want to go. So I'm shading that way, so you can't bring the ball that way. You gotta go do something different. But with Tim, the only thing Tim knew that he couldn't play with the ball down here with. So when Tim went to make his move, he made it.
And the next player's opinion that we're going to take a look at is from Jim Jackson, who also played for the Dallas Mavericks, the New Jersey Nets, and yeah, a couple of teams. Let's see what he has to say about Tim Duncan.
The beauty about Tim's game, it was so simple, so simplistic. Didn't do anything flashy, but he could beat you every time.
They go to the big fundamental.
Puts it down, comes baseline, spin over the top, good!
Tim Duncan. I was the one who gave Tim Duncan the name, the big fundamental, because Tim Duncan fundamentally had it all.
You know, I had never played with a guy that won the MVP that season. And that season he won the MVP and all his teammates was obviously going to be there and support him. I came in a suit and I was excited, and Tim Duncan came in a shirt that was probably this long, and in Tim Duncan way said thank you to his teammates, to his fans, and accepted his MVP trophy in such the Tim Duncan way that all his teammates would appreciate it. It was just him being him. He's so humble.
When I first saw him play, I thought, oh my goodness, you're incredible. This is going to be a lot of fun.
So Timmy D, I can't even say we have a battle with Timmy D. Like, how do you battle with Tim Duncan? Like, it was the most silent battle.
There is no San Antonio Spurs dynasty without Tim Duncan.
It's time to celebrate, San Antonio. The Spurs have captured their 5th NBA championship.
And the next clip that we're going to take a look at is from Steve Kerr, who had a very interesting take on that because A, he played against Tim Duncan, he played with Tim Duncan, and he coached against Tim Duncan. So I think he has a kind of unique perspective. Let's take a look.
Maybe the greatest two-way player in league history when you really think about it. I know that's saying a lot, but when you think about how dominant he was defensively at the rim, Timmy was as good as there's ever been.
Yeah, he got double. He kicking out the Ginobili. No.
They have a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, Tim Duncan.
No, I'm saying without Tim Duncan, they still are a playoff team.
No, they win game, but they don't make the playoffs.
Big Ginobili and Tony Parker. You
Can't
got
do it by
two
themselves.
all-stars. You got two all-stars on that team,
bro. They live off of Mr. Duncan.
So what?
Double.
So you hear him. So what you're
Yeah,
saying? So those two guys ain't Hall of Famers then?
I'm not going on to say that. But
what you mean?
No, I'm saying if you take them off, you take Tim off the team, they don't have the same success.
Hold on.
That's what I'm talking about.
Tim Duncan.
Get him, T-Mac.
Tim Duncan made Ginobili and Tony Parker. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah.
But if you give me Parrish and McHale and DJ, I'm gonna be all right.
You better than Duncan?
No, Tim Duncan's the greatest power forward ever.
He had a lot of help.
He did, but he was dominant.
But what did he do better than you?
He's a better post-up player because it's easier for him to score.
Yeah, but you were a better scorer.
Only because I got the ball more.
What Tim Duncan lacked in flash, he more than made up for with an almost machine-like consistency. You had to face him. Why was he so good for so long?
He was so good for so long just because of his nickname, the big fundamental. He had all of the fundamentals. And with Tim Duncan, there were times when you could play him perfectly. He could still get his shot off. I remember one time guarding him, and he tried to bully me down with a jump hook, and I took it away. And then he spun to the middle and took that away. Then he did a step through and just nudged me with his shoulder and got his little shot off the glass. And he was like, that was really good defense, man. I was just able to get to my third move. And that's what made him so good.
I think that's what Tim Duncan was. But on a whole nother level. Like, since he stepped foot in the L, he won. Yeah. He's done nothing but win. I believe, I may be wrong, but from my knowledge, I think he's the most winningest player of all time. So if that's not top 5, on top of all the accolades that come with it, I don't.
They made the playoffs every year, right?
Season.
Damn near 20-10 getting out the car.
He's never
bro.
had a losing
You know what
season.
I mean?
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. Getting those Old Navy fits off. So that lets you know.
Every day, every time I played that guy, he was intense, he was focused, he was passionate, and he played hard every single time. You can't tell that because, for one, he's big, always very stoic in his demeanor, but he was always intense. And just because he never wore it on his face all the time, I think that was his mind trick. That was his mind trick. I'm just gonna be focused and have that laser focus, an occasional little smile every now and then. But this is what I'm doing every day, and we're gonna compete, and I'm gonna play hard, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to help my team be successful. He brought that every day.
I was learning from him. He came in with a tremendous skill set. I was incredibly impressed. I cannot overstate, really within 2 years, he was one of the top players in the league.
Man, what a finish. This guy is everything that you want in a basketball player.
And it was in his second season that Duncan led the Spurs to new heights.
Puts it down, comes baseline, spin over the top. Good! The San Antonio Spurs win their first ever NBA championship.
4 seasons later, Duncan and the Spurs were back on top of the basketball world for title number 2.
It was easier to follow because the franchise player was leading by example. His leadership and his mentorship was huge for the whole organization.
Tim Duncan collected 2 more championships in 2005 and 2007.
Everything was about what it took to win. Those titles obviously don't happen without him.
Then, in 2014, at 38 years old, Duncan would cement his status as the centerpiece of one of the NBA's all-time great dynasties.
Duncan for the finish. Once again, spectacular. It's time to celebrate, San Antonio. The Spurs have captured their 5th NBA championship.
If you thought because Timmy didn't show a lot of emotions or had a poker face a lot that he wasn't a great competitor, nothing could be farther from the truth.
There was nothing you could do to intimidate him. He wasn't ready to play against Tim Duncan. He would destroy you.
Against Nowitzki. 3 seconds. Duncan shoots, scores, and the Spurs win.
You know, to me as a basketball fan, the career of Tim Duncan was always super interesting. I remember like it was yesterday, when the Spurs drafted him, there were still some analysts and fans who said, oh, why didn't the Spurs draft Keith Van Horn? And I was always not understanding why. But fortunately, Tim proved how good he was, and especially the combination of him and David Robinson. I thought the Twin Towers were super sensational, and just to see how his career developed, I think not only is he the greatest power forward of all time, even though I'm a huge Charles Barkley fan, but I gotta admit, yeah, Tim Duncan was still on a different level. I think it was an honor and a privilege to see this guy play, and that he was even successful in his late 30s. Well, show that this guy could play. Anyway, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see you next time on the Basketball Time Machine.